This time on Roadkill, 4 guys, 5 days, a bunch of unexpected problems, turns into...
the dumpster fire Daytona! Yeah! All right, so this is my 1969 Dodge Charger, which I bought in Michigan last summer at our Roadkill Nights event. And pretty much I bought it because it looks like an old NASCAR that somebody butchered into a Pro Street car, and to be honest, it's not an old NASCAR. It's a fake. It's not a real Dodge Daytona. It's just a very rusty, butchered Pro Street version that I could afford. And I bought it because I like the way it looks. Problem is it needs one of everything, including new torsion bars. We had to cut these in half to get them out. We also had to redo the brakes and the front suspension and the steering. But my friends are here, and the next 5 days, we're gonna make it run and drive and do burnouts. I have a dream. I bought this at Roadkill Nights. I'd like to drive it back to Roadkill Nights. And pretty much I bought it for the visual. From like 30 feet, your average human thinks this is a really, really expensive Dodge Daytona. From 29 feet, it's junk.
This is doo-doo.
But I'd like your opinion before we get started. You know, in 5 days, can we make this run and do burnouts?
I would say no, except for that you got some stuff done before we got here, like the brakes and wiring and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the bones will be made up of old Roadkill project cars. We have the engine out of the death metal Charger 383. We have the trans out of Blasphemy.
Yeah, clutchless 5-speed. That's what this thing needs.
Yeah. And then we have the Dana rear end out of the Rubber Duck Firebird, which we know is already bent. So
it's perfect.
Why not use all of that stuff? I have 5 days and 2 Legends in my garage. We're fine.
But on first glance, I mean, I thought this may be a real Daytona.
Really?
What? Yeah.
For those unaware, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was a specially built model just for NASCAR. Like, for NASCAR, you had to have a production car sold to the public, and Chrysler really wanted to win, so they developed a really aerodynamic package just to win NASCAR, and then sold them to the public. They actually didn't sell very well because they're ludicrous cars. They typically don't fit in a normal garage. The claim to fame is this was the first stock car for NASCAR to run 200 miles an hour. Buddy Baker did that at Talladega and then crashed and burned. So it's perfect.
Well, that's not gonna happen to us.
No, we'll be good.
I guess swing the motor in.
Pull the nose off first. We're gonna have to get all this junk out of here. This thing is rusty. It's got a fiberglass nose on it, fiberglass wing.
Scratch the paint.
Not the fresh paint. I think we can get over it.
Sounds like a machine gun fire. Coming down slowly.
This is new. I've never done this before.
Oh, that's a Roadkill garage norm right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we're up against the firewall with the flange of the bell housing.
Those wings on the pan
are
interfering with their installation.
Yep.
Otherwise, it would just drop right down.
Uh-huh. This is going to be a lot of cutting.
Okay.
You might as well just
cut it.
Just cut it now.
Oh, if only we had put an automatic transmission in here. That motor would already be installed. They would have just bolted right in. But we didn't. And the problem with that is it's longer and taller, and it's hitting the floor and this cross member. And the cross member is here because it not only attaches the floor to the frame rails, but it also houses the torsion bars, which hold up the entire front end of the car. It's kind of important. And we have to cut it out.
All right. Out she comes. Okay, come down.
Going in there. We're gonna cut from here to here as a starting point, then put the motor and trans back in and see, do we have to cut anything else? There we go. Fixed.
Coming down. That was good. Sort of our methodology here is we're going to take the engine and trans in and out a whole bunch of times until we've cut the floor enough to get clearance for the transmission. How's your fitment? I can see it through this hole.
It's good all the way back here.
I was hoping to just eyeball where we have to hack for the transmission and then take the trans off, mount the engine, and do the trans again.
Just like imagining being in the trench or something in World War I.
All right, we're gonna have to take this trans and bell housing off so that we can slip the engine in because the oil pan is hitting the K-member, and once that's in, we're gonna try and muscle this trans up and figure out where else we have to cut the floor.
It's pushing the oil pan forward like 2 or 3 inches. It means the clutch can has to come off. Get the right there.
Yep. You're good. Bingo.
In, stop.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, we're picking it back up so we can crawl underneath and make the transmission fit. Looks like that's gonna go.
Wow.
Great, that was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, I hope that this rusty frame rail doesn't collapse while I'm under here.
So David's jacking the transmission up right now to greet our big block Mopar, which is in place in the engine bay.
We got the transmission in so that we can start eyeballing, cutting out the floor, and so we can build a trans cross member, but we wanted to install the headers so that we can get the engine in exactly the right place before we mount the trans and lock down the position of all this stuff. The headers that Finnegan got are from TTI, which is a company I usually recommend for Mopars. These, however, are their shorty headers. The plus to this is they fit super easily.
Yes.
The downside, Steve,
Power loss.
these kill power. We tested them on Engine Masters that, hey, it's Finnegan's car. He doesn't like power that much. Oh, hi, Mike. Look how easy that was.
Yeah, the dip sticker tube is in the way, though.
Motor and trans are in, kind of. The motor's mounted, the trans is just kind of floating in space back there. We're pretty sure we're gonna have to cut the floor of the car, but we don't know how much. So what I'm gonna do is put an angle finder on the rocker of the car. I'm gonna zero it here. Then I'm gonna go to the motor and put it on a flat part of the motor and see what is our angle of our engine in relation to the rocker, because this is really the only level surface of the car. And so we kind of want to get the motor somewhat close to level, maybe a little down. We are about 3 degrees down. That means the back of the motor is tilted down. And in order to get it level with the rockers, because we zeroed this on the rocker, we'd have to raise it up about that much. That's about 3/8 of an inch in the middle of the motor, which means the trans probably has to come up about 1 inch to become parallel with the chassis. We're cutting more sheet metal. That's what's about to happen. Okay,
1.8.
you can go up some more, Dave.
Yeah, this shifter stud is hitting the floor already right there. It's 1 finger away right here.
Time to put the shifter in. We're going to the old tried and true H pattern, which everybody knows and loves. You know, if you know how to drive stick, you probably learned on an H pattern. Same deal, rods and levers, bolt to the side of the trans. Well, it took all of 8 seconds to figure out, not only does the shifter not clear the trans tunnel, but the shift rods don't clear the trans tunnel either. So we're gonna have to cut this further forward and we're gonna have to cut this further backwards. I think our trans is lined up where it needs to be. We need to make a trans mount because now our shifter's in, that's clearing. We have Swiss cheesed our floor. We move forward, we build a trans mount, start eyeballing our rear end problems. This is the makings of a ghetto fabulous transmission cross member. You know, if it was a race car, it'd be round and be much lighter, but this is not a race car. This is a roadkill car. So I took whatever scrap I had laying around, butchered a notch into it for the spine of the transmission. We'll put this up against our floor, put a bolt through the cross member that we already cut that is definitely rusty and not secure. And this is what will hold our transmission from falling out of the car. Don't do this at home.
Hey, I'll give it a shot. I think that's pretty close.
So far, we dropped in the engine and trans. In the next 4 days, we need to completely fabricate a rear suspension, order the drive shaft, do a complete fuel system, finish brake hard lines up here and back there, battery cable starter relay, oil pressure line, oil, trans fluid, rear end gear oil, throttle pedal and cable.
All I heard was blah, 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 burnouts. No problem. Look, we can do this, man. We can do this.
So if you finish the trans-cross member, I think Steve and I should rip the whole rear end out of the car so that we can get the new suspension fabbed in the rear end in so we can order a drive shaft and get that here in time.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Almost there.
This is gonna be a speedy down. That was some technique right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next plan of action is to put the wheels and tires on the new rear end, which came out of Finnegan's Rubber Duck Firebird. These tires we just installed are a ProTrack 445 5015, huge by large. The idea of this being a Dana 70 is gone. You can usually look at the web of a Dana rear end and it'll have cast in it what it is. And it clearly says it's a Dana 60. It's just a big beefy one. What we're gonna do next is roll the rear end under and jack it up and make sure it fits the wheel tubs and then start to fit the leaf springs. With the rear end rolled under the car, we sort of eyeballed the situation here, and what we decided to do is leave the leaf springs where they are rather than outboard them on the frame. That's gonna end up putting the new leaf spring pads right up against the cast center section of the Dana 60, and then you have to fit a U-bolt, so we're gonna grind away some ears on the casting and put a U-bolt right over the casting. We'll have to get a bigger U-bolt made for that.
I love this saw. So this is our transmission cross member. Kind of looks like a spaceship. That's always fun. This part bolts to the transmission. This part is gonna bolt to the cross member under the floor that we hacked in half. And the way that's gonna work is we're gonna run a bolt through this and then through the cross member. And I've cut this piece of tubing. And this is what my bolt's gonna go through. And I'm gonna slide that tube in the tubing. And then I'm gonna weld it together. And once the tube, the round tube, is welded to the box tube, this becomes one unit, and I can tighten the bolt as much as I want, and it's not gonna destroy the tubing. Everything I just did to that cross member, which was drilling holes through it, welding in these sleeves, now I have to do to the cross member in the car. So Steve is laying under there with a right angle drill, trying to get to the free side so that then we can put these in there, TIG weld them in place, then we're done. With the cross member, not the car. All right, you're through.
We're starting to position the rear axle in the car. Steve's gonna hang the spring in the shackle.
Everything has to align just perfectly.
I don't even care if it's not fast. It just looks cool.
Let her down. Mike then needs to go forward. There we go. Ah, perfect. Mine, there we go.
We have a plan. This rear end is gonna work. So what we're gonna do is unbolt the leaf springs, remount the shackles, outboard the frame rail, build a new mount up front for the hanger, and then we can finally put the weight on the tires and see the stance and be like, yeah, high five, look at those meats. Bo's happy, I can tell.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
All right, let's take it apart.
Yeah.
We're moving the springs outboard by one spring width. We took them out of this bracket right in here, and we're moving them just to the outside, and we will still use this. Mike is right now using CAD to make a new bracket that will go right here to hold it.
We did some cardboard data drafting, and now I'm gonna cut this out in the vertical bandsaw, run a drill bit through the original holes in it so that we're sure they line up, and then we'll be done.
Finnegan fabbed up this great bracket, which is going to move our leaf spring from right here to right here. But the thing is, to weld it in, you really want it straight. You don't want it flopped out this way or that way. So what I did is I made these pieces of tubing that went through the old bracket into the new ear right here, and then made a spacer with a nut and bolt, which holds it all together. So once this is welded, it'll be in perfect alignment to grab the leaf spring.
Oh, good day. Freiburger and Dulcich killed it. Rear end obviously is not in the car, but we're very, very close because now we at least have front brackets to mount our leaf springs. We'll build the back ones tomorrow. It's bedtime. Going to bed. Done.
Good morning from the palatial Finnegan estate. You can do anything here, but we're doing it slowly. The list is still long. Those guys are out at storage place picking up parts so we can finish up the rear suspension, but I still have this list to do, so I'm gonna start whittling away at that. Engine compartment's where I'm most at home, so I think I'm gonna start bolting headers on, and those guys can finish up the suspension once they get back.
I'm really excited about these. These are used Centerline Combo Pros, and we stuck Mickey Thompson ET Street Skinnies on the front. Perfect for our Pro Street car. Yep, it rolls.
I think the torsion bars probably have no tension in them.
Hey, but it's still in one piece. Here's our plan. We're gonna take the leaf springs out. We're gonna drill new holes for the rear shackles 1 inch further forward so that when it's sitting at ride height, the shackles have a little more rearward angle. And then we're gonna make new mounts so that we can move the leaf springs out more to the frame rails, giving us plenty of room to put that giant Dana 60 center section under this car.
There we go. Just got that skewered, and now Finnegan's gonna come back, cut that to length, and weld it in.
I can't approve of RTV on a valve cover gasket. No. Finnegan wants to install a tunnel ram on this. As a matter of fact, we got one from eBay. So I'm gonna go open it and inspect it and decide if we're installing it or not on our short deadline. Tunnel ram scenario, this falls under the category of completely optional. Ooh, this is an old one too. This is a Wyand tunnel ram for the 383 Big Black Chrysler. See how it says "Say Y and" on the logo? That is the older one. So this thing is legit. Now, the real time consumer on the tunnel ram is not so much the tunnel ram itself, but the linkage. And he got a couple of carburetors. Are not really tunnel ram carburetors. These are single 4-barrel race units. This is gonna be a Holley XP 750 double pumper. We're gonna put them on sideways, as all good tunnel rams should be. Uh-oh. All right, we're not using this tunnel ram. That game is over. So this is such an old tunnel ram that it's only drilled for the bolt pattern for an AVS type carburetor or for inline Holley. So the sideways mounted Holleys are not gonna work. See, they'll mount inline, but 2 of them won't fit because the float bowls will hit each other. So that's game over on the tunnel ram. I made spark plug wires and battery cables happen, and Dulcich is fixing the alternator bracket. Now I have to move on to some wiring. Finnegan had a friend go through the car and actually wire all the headlights and turn signals and all that stuff. It's kind of crazy. And he also wired the stuff off the factory ignition switch according to the colors of the factory 1969 Charger wiring diagram.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. We're
Really?
good.
Oh, that worked out perfectly.
Nailed it.
Is that in the middle?
Ish.
So you have 3.5 inches from tire to spring, and this has 3 inches. So push it 1/4 inch. That might have nailed it. I mean, there's still the spring dangle,
11 years
but
of
it's pretty
soccer.
close.
Was Bruce Lee here?
Okay. All right, ready for axle coming down? That, okay?
There we go.
Yeah.
So right now the guys are throwing U-bolts and spring pads in there. We don't have all the parts to actually lock this in place. We're missing the bushings for the back of our leaf springs. Those will be here tomorrow. But tonight we can at least clamp this together and set it on the ground and be fully motivated to keep going because we only have 2 days left. What we have here are the finest 445 tires money can buy. We want them to fit in here without hitting the quarter panel like they're doing it now. Now, if we just lower the jack and let this hit the ground, the wheel's gonna go back, but not before it caves in the already dented quarter panel. So I'm gonna clearance it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, going down for the stance.
Ooh.
Boom.
Dude.
It's sitting on the quarter panel here in the back.
It is?
Yeah.
Dude, I have all the room in the world back here. Dude, look at the wing and the big tire and...
Fits pretty good.
It is so cool. This looks awesome.
It's a big meat.
Oh, man.
Ooh, ride's good. We need to crank up this torsion bar like crazy.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Me
We get to
too.
cruise this, dude. We get to cruise this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this is badass. I love crappy cars.
Well, you've reached the pinnacle.
Dude, I know, like,
It's actually good.
like
Yeah.
we literally just built the crappiest version of the coolest muscle car ever.
I think if we crank up that torsion bar, you might solve some of your tire problems.
Oh, yeah. One of the things we noticed when we got the car on the ground on its mean tire and wheel combination is that it's sitting kind of cattywampus, so we've got to do something about that. Fortunately, a Mopar's got adjustable torsion bars, so all you have to do is go underneath, adjust the adjuster, and level her out.
Stop. Now do the other side. Oh, this tire's ramrodded into the quarter. After all that measuring and fiddling and bending in the back, trying to center the rear end, we decided that that was all ridiculous because we don't have bushings in the leaf springs, and there's a bunch of other problems where it just needs to be tight and final installed before we really measure anything. So what we're gonna do now is pick this up and put it on race ramps to get it up off the ground and measure for our drive shaft length. But when we do that, we have a new surprise for you, and it's really good.
Crawled under the car to measure it for a drive shaft, and I discovered we can't put a drive shaft in this car because there's a cross member here. And I never really paid much attention to this cross member before, especially not when we were welding leaf spring brackets to it. But basically, this rear cross member is the backbone of the rear suspension. Tomorrow, we get to do major surgery on this.
Thursday morning, and I'm leaving for a vacation trip on Saturday, so we have 2 days to do all this. I just made a more detailed list of everything that we need to do, and we went through it and marked off the optional things, stuff we didn't need in order to do burnouts. My job's gonna be engine. Steve's working on bolting in the steering column. Finnegan's working on that pinion angle and drive shaft, and you'll see another guy here in the background, Joe. He's helping us all day long, so you'll see him.
In the interest of forward progress, I'm trying to lock the rear end in place. Currently, the rear axle is just sitting on the leaf spring pads on top of the leaf springs loose. We'd like to lock the rear end at least side to side and set the pinion angle. Well, the way you do that is by welding the axle tubes to the axle pads. We can't do that until we figure out, is our axle centered so that the tires don't hit the quarter panel? I don't want to measure the leaf spring because this stuff is all crooked still because it's not tightened up. So we're going to measure from the ruler to the tire on both sides, shift the rear end, I think, this way, tighten everything down with the U-bolts. When we're sure the pinion angle is correct, we'll weld it. So right now we're taking the trans back out again to put the clutch back in that we removed earlier. Once the clutch is in, the trans back in, we have a yoke on its way. We'll put the yoke in the back of the trans, then measure for our drive shaft, which our local guy will get done today.
I finished most of the wiring except for charge wire and starter wire, which is holding on other things. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the carburetor. We got this, the Holley 1850. Old school, 600 CFM, vacuum secondary, mechanical choke. Look at that. You know that's gonna come into play. This thing is gonna save me some time because it has a single fuel inlet. The typical high-performance Holley carburetors that we use are dual feed, and it just takes more plumbing to do that. And the aftermarket kits that you can get to go into those generally ram right into a big block Mopar distributor. So this is gonna be good enough for Finnegan to do burnouts. Quick tech tip, When I install a carburetor, I like to work the throttle linkage, and don't forget to do it on the vacuum secondary as well, just to make sure that the blades are not hitting the manifold and the linkage is not hitting the outside of the manifold. This one seems flawless.
I wanted to finish up the steering column, but the guys are working there, and so I'm going to move on to the radiator. What I have is a Griffin aluminum radiator that replaces the original copper brass radiator. Now, when you're putting in an aftermarket part, you have to expect a little finessing to get it to work. The fans are ramrodded right into the water pump, so that's not going to operate like that whatsoever. So the radiator has to come forward. I think we can modify, cut off these flanges, and when we're all done with that, it's just going to be nuts and bolts and wires, and all of this is going to function exactly as the manufacturer intends.
Mike and Joe got the transmission and the clutch back in, and we got it jacked up in position, and Dulcich and I were able to measure the drive shaft. Finally, they're going to turn it around in 1 day, so we should get that done. I'm in the middle of ordering a bunch more parts from Summit Racing that we need in order to wrap this thing up.
Right now, Dulcich is at the front of the Charger, cutting up my mint condition core support to put a new radiator in.
We're just going to try to find space, a millimeter at a time, pulling that radiator back little by little until it fits in just as if it was made for the car. Well, in fact, it was made for the car, but that's a story for another day. This is going to be our trial fit. We made a few modifications to the core support. It should gain us a little clearance. That's a complete win.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Man, I'm glad I got that together.
What we have here is a visual representation of how this build is going. This is the starter that was on that 383 when it was in death metal. It does not work. Brand new AC Delco unit also doesn't work. Why? Because the headers we bought won't allow either one of these to bolt up. I went all the way to my other shop and grabbed 3 starters from Blasphemy. One of these has to work. All right, that's not gonna work. It does not work. It's also really far.
To people at home, if you have a 383 and you buy the shorty block hugger headers from TTI, they won't tell you that there's only one starter in the entire world that will work on this, and it's made by some guy at his home garage, and you know you're not gonna find it. So there's your warning.
We're supposed to drive this tomorrow, but I don't think that's happening.
Steve's still working on the valve cover. Mike's underneath. You can hear him starting to zap the whole chassis back together. My job is break hard lines throughout the entire car. And by hard lines, I mean potentially soft lines. This is a -3 AN line that is crimped specifically for brake pressure. And, you know, they've said forever that you shouldn't use a bunch of this in your brake system because they expand and give you a squishy pedal or something. I'm not buying it. So I think I'm gonna try and do that everywhere that I can. It's sort of a hunt to find fittings and stuff. Other cases, I'm going to build hard lines. You can see my template here for making that happen.
You guys want to feel way better?
Sure.
Suspension. No.
Incomplete. A lot of stuff is started, nothing is completed.
Well, brakes.
No.
But you can scratch that one off.
What?
Valve cover gaskets. Done.
Valve cover gaskets. Done.
That's one more off the list.
Dude, you're a legend.
No exhaust.
Yeah, no. I'm just gonna put this back over here and focus on what we did accomplish today, guys. Tomorrow will be way more victories.
Well, right now, sleep, maybe.
Good night, guys.
It went really good today, though. I feel good.
Hi there. It's the same day.
I know I went to bed, but I woke up on the same day.
It's morning.
Punch drunk, tired.
Producer Taylor went to Knoxville. He went somewhere in Tennessee last night, met a Roadkill fan, and found these, which means any of our 6 starters will now work on this car.
Yes, from none to all, right?
We got to remove the headers and install stock manifolds. Back to work, lots to do.
All right.
It might seem like one step forward, two steps back, but what I'm doing is I'm taking off our carefully installed shorty headers and putting on these, the factory 440 HP manifolds. We tried every single starter known to man, and none of them would fit with those shorty headers. With this, I can put practically any starter and it'll fit no problem at all.
Right now, Joe is in the back of the car finishing up the fuel cell mount. I have to modify the fuel cell to actually make it fit our Pro Street car. And the reason for that is our rear frame rails are very narrow. The problem is it normally mounts in the car like this. Like if that's the front of the car and that's the back, it goes between your frame rails. Our frame rails are so narrow, I have to turn it like this. The problem with that is the outlets for the fuel are no longer at the back of the vehicle, which is where you want them. As the car accelerates, gravity, acceleration, all that, it's gonna make the fuel go backwards. So what I'm gonna do is cap these off. I'm gonna drill a hole at our new back end of our fuel tank. Weld that bung in there, and now we can put an outlet fitting in our hose where we need it. All right, that's not gonna leak.
Here's sleep deprivation in action. This is so stupid. Dulcich was walking by this morning, noticing something. He says, Freiburger, do you have the line lock going to the rear brakes? It's like, yes, I do. The line lock obviously is supposed to go in the front brakes. If you don't know what a line lock is, you step on the brakes, you press a button, it locks all the pressure to the front brakes, releases pressure to the back brakes, and you can do a burnout because the front end's locked up. You really want to eyeball that the drum brakes have the smaller reservoir and are typically in the front in the master cylinder, and the disc brakes typically have a larger reservoir and are typically on the back of the master cylinder. And I was feeding that line lock from the front. So I will be rebending this Picasso of a line. And it'll probably actually look better, and I won't trap a nut on it.
We tried a bazillion starters with the other header, and there was no way any of them were gonna work. So we put the stock manifolds on, and right now this starter is gonna drop in place like it was made for the car.
We're ready to set our drive shaft angles, and it's actually a perfect situation where we're able to set the pinion angle because the spring pads aren't welded on yet, and we're able to move the transmission up and down to get that just right. Here's the situation with U-joints. They want to operate in equal and opposite angles. Imagine that the pinion in the rear end is perfectly level with the ground, and so is the transmission. You can see that the drive shaft is going to be at the same angle on both ends. It's just that the angularity is down here on this end and up here on that end. And so what you have to do is make that happen in the car, which can be tricky. And remember that you also want the rear end pinion on a sprung car, not on like an IRS, to be down a couple degrees more than is required, so that when you're accelerating and the pinion climbs the ring gear, that it ends up being in the right place. Now we're ready to check the angularity from the transmission to the drive shaft. Now the way we're gonna do that is with a little angle finder right here, and I have to use this little surface right here. And I'm gonna hold the angle finder to it. Once I have it zeroed on the transmission, I move it over here to bottom dead center on the drive shaft. So what I've got here is 0.6 degrees. So what that means is essentially the transmission center line is even with the drive shaft. It's 0.6 degrees down, but you really want more than that. Now, the reason why it's almost flat is because this car has huge tires on the back. You can see that a tall tire would move the back of the car up, and then you have to move the axle up to move the back of the car down. When you do that, you end up putting the transmission and the pinion almost in line, which is a problem because a U-joint doesn't want to operate at 0 degrees. It wants a couple degrees on it so that it doesn't have sort of a flutter to it. Now we're going to move to the back and adjust the pinion angle, which I can't do right now because we've got that cross member hitting the drive shaft. So maybe I'll ask Finnegan to cut that out and we'll carry on.
Okay, drive shaft, go back in.
0.1. 1. Okay, that's good. Now this. Okay, we're good. Man, it's a process. We just spent like half an hour measuring and triple measuring everything we need to set the pinion and transmission angle and make a transmission spacer. Mike just tacked the spring pads onto the rear end housing. I'm gonna go tighten all the U-bolts up, which will squish everything together and might change the pinion angle a little bit. Then we'll jack everything back up. Then we have to take the whole thing out, fully weld the spring pad, refabricate the cross member that we cut out, and then put it back in, figure out the shocks and the shock cross member.
I don't know what time it is, but we're supposed to be doing burnouts by now, and it's been one little thing after another, just eating and eating and eating at our time. Like right now, I need to connect the pedal to the push rod to operate the master cylinder. That's gonna take time. Freiburger had to make brake lines. Finnegan had been getting this rear end ready to go in. There's all kinds of stuff, but you know what? We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, we're gonna get out there, and we're gonna do our burnouts. Even if Freiburger misses his vacation, we are doing burnouts!
Burnouts are not happening tonight. But on a positive note, we can cross stuff off the list. Rear shocks, we bought them, they're here. Oh, did you guys replace the leaf spring bolts?
Yep, done. Rear end's almost back in.
Cross that off. The hard line to the T on the rear axle?
Close. Victory.
Wow. For the first time, I think we might pull this off. This is great progress. This is all that's left to do. I've already done one thing this morning. It's 7 a.m. It's not the same day as when it was the same day yesterday morning, but it's the same day as when it was the same day last night at 3 in the morning when I went to sleep.
That's this morning.
We're gonna try desperately to get this all done and get at least one burnout in today.
I think by noonish today, this will roar to life. I'm gonna put the shifter in. This straight stick from Long Racing Shifters is what I ran during Drag Week 2019 when Tony Angelo and I set the class record and won with this transmission. But it's a little too far forward in this car, so we're going road race style with this kickback shifter. And then we also got a new B&M shift knob, which is bigger than our shifter, but all the inserts for it are smaller than our shifter, so this is not gonna go on. I'm gonna install the G-force knob, which is gonna fit, but doesn't have a button, which is a bummer. So now I'm gonna have to put like a micro switch on the stick to activate the line lock.
I'll let that run out.
It's time to remove the front part of that roll bar. We'll just cut it and bend it till it breaks off.
Now watch this. It's barely welded on, and it's made of 1.5-inch tube, which isn't legal for any sanctioning body anywhere. Ha ha! Ha!
One of the last things we got to do before we test drive the car is adjust the shifter, which is kind of a process. Essentially, the way this works is you're moving the lever here, but then there's 3 rods down here that turn 3 separate levers to engage the gears. To adjust it, you slide this pin into these 3 rails. Once it's in there, what you're looking for is the ability to slide the pin smoothly in and out. If it does not slide smoothly through each one of these rails, then you turn these rods, which have left and right hand thread heim joints in them, to release a gap here and here, forward and backwards, and eventually this will be smooth. And once this is smooth, that allows you to bang shift this thing real easy. This is a clutch assisted transmission, which means in first gear, when you take off from a stoplight, you use the clutch. After that, you should be able to just rip this stick and go right into the next gear.
Up,
Up,
down,
down,
up.
up.
That's cool.
What do you think?
We can fire it up and go for a ride.
Daylight.
Oh,
All right.
this car rolls. This car stops. Here we go.
Sounds good. There we go. Stop. Gas leak.
Fuel filter.
Dude, when do you think the last time this car ran was?
Never?
I don't think it's ever run.
Probably sometime long before they decided to cut it up and do all this.
Yeah. Dude, that was 5 days.
This one's cinched down. We need to
This
get
is
another
clamped
hose
all
clamp.
the way down and not clamped enough. We're gonna see if it still leaks.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Motor seems happy. We got oil pressure, we got water temps.
This thing is our bestest, trashiest car ever. It's already been driven like 4 miles and nothing has gone wrong. So of course, we head to the burnout. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
2-tire fire.
Oh, that was great.
That was cool.
So awesome.
I was really worried that the diff was open based on what we were doing in the shop, but
Yeah!
clearly we got 2-tire fire.
It works! See, I told you it wasn't an open diff. Look at that.
How come you didn't grab second?
Oh, I don't know, I forgot. 5 days.
I made it happen.
We did. No kisses, all right?
Wait till you see it in the next episode of Roadkill, where we drive that thing to Roadkill nights.
This is a recipe that always works. You buy the very worst example of your favorite car, get a bunch of used parts you have lying around, lock your friends in the garage for a week with the only goal being to just make it run and drive. We did that. In fact, the dumpster fire Daytona actually does burnout. Sure, she's not perfect and she does need a little refinement, which we're gonna do off camera before road tripping this thing all the way to Roadkill Nights in Michigan, and you're gonna see that on an upcoming episode of Roadkill.
This time on Roadkill, we're taking my radical Jeep out of mothballs and road tripping to Moab, Utah with Mike Cotton to see Dave Chappelle.
I broke it. I'll admit it. I broke it.
Freiburger here with my lovely and talented co-host for this episode, Mike Cotton. He's from the Faster show that's on Motor Trend, and also we did that Roadkill together with the Pro Street Murata.
Which was a lot of fun. That road trip was really good.
Which is why yesterday, when Finnegan got sick and couldn't make the episode, I'm like, Cotton, do you want to come make a Roadkill? He goes, sure. When? Like, you're going to be on a plane today.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell him what we were doing, and I guarantee you by the end of the episode with this vehicle, I will make him load his shorts.
I don't know about that.
It's going to be great. All right, do you want to hear about this thing?
Yeah, so what's the deal with this? Because I don't do four-wheel drive stuff.
Not a bit. Fish out of water.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And this is hardcore rock crawling. Our plan is to drive this thing from here in LA all the way to Moab, Utah for the Easter Jeep Safari. Thing is, you have no idea about this, and the audience might not either. I want to baffle you with the brilliance of this Jeep. So the last time we used it was on an episode of Roadkill Garage, and it had bad tires on it, completely failed. That was season 1, that was 7 years ago. Then I put the tires on it. It hasn't moved in 3 or 4 years.
And how far do we gotta drive?
700 miles, something like that. This was a 1981 Jeep CJ8, which is a scrambler, 10-inch longer wheelbase than a CJ7.
Okay.
The whole front clip on this is from a military Jeep that's called an M38A1.
I've seen those before.
I actually have one in the backyard. It's shorter than this would be from the factory. And check this out. The fenders are attached to the hood, so it has no fenders at all. And that's just for major tire clearance.
So you're talking about the wheelbase is longer on this compared to shorter. What is the benefit of it being longer or shorter, though?
People used to think that a short wheelbase Jeep was more maneuverable around obstacles, but the longer the wheelbase, the more you can climb a hill without rolling over backwards, as I will show you when we get to Moab. This is all tubbed. This is hugely bigger than it would be from the factory. That's to fit big tires. It used to have 40s on it. These are 42s. So the stock scrambler was probably this long. We just shortened it up, just so that it's got less overhang in the back so you can climb a steeper obstacle without dragging the ground.
It looks like the wheelbase is more forward on this.
Good eye. I think it's a 106-inch wheelbase, so the axle's been moved forward 2 inches. I'll show you the motor, though. It's a 350 small block Chevy. It makes no power. It's just a regular old crate engine. Quadrajet carburetor, the best carburetor for off-road. Custom fabricated like battery tray that I've messed up with a bunch of wiring. It's got the air lockers, and the transmission is an NV4500, which is like a big Dodger Chevy truck 5-speed.
Okay.
Really low first gear, but it has overdrive. The transfer case is called an Atlas from Advanced Adapters, and it's 4-to-1 ratio. And then the axles have 717 gears in them. So the whole point is you can put this in low range, first gear, and you can get out of the thing and it'll go boom, 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 boom. It'll just chug along. Now, suspension, the springs have been moved from under the axle to on top of the axle. It's got the high knuckle steering. You can see all of the steering stuff is above the leaf spring. And you can see that all of the steering arms and everything are custom fabricated. This is really old school suspension. You ready for starting? We got neutral, and I set the choke. It'll crank for like 30 seconds getting fuel up there, and then it'll fire immediately. Getting fuel. Here it comes. Yes, without touching the pedal. Oil pressure means it has oil. Get some air out of that system.
Yeah, we need to replace that whole rubber line.
Yeah.
She's leaking already.
All right, I'm super impressed with me right now because I'm gonna check the diff fluid and probably even the transmission and the transfer case. It's a 717 ratio, which is really, really low. That means there's like, 2 teeth on the pinion gear, which means it spins a lot. I'm glad I checked that because I am going to have to goop that. All right, I want to clean this out and load trail gear. We're doing all this to be able to get to that box, which has good stuff in it. Aluminum foil, invaluable on the trail.
Why?
Because you wrap your burrito in it and warm it on the intake manifold, duh. If this is an axle stub, that means we can break stuff. It is, yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. Freiburger's got the fluids and everything taken care of, and the axles themselves and the rear ends, or whatever you want to call these things in the front that are huge. I'm going ahead and changing the rubber hoses on it because they do go bad and they're breaking. So we're going to change the filter, rubber line, and this thing should be good.
The transfer case has a sight tube in it, but it's old enough. It's got cruddy. Trying to wipe it off so I can see the level. I cannot tell.
So the transfer case is low. What it is the sight tube that's in there, it's clear. It's a pain in the butt to get to. So it's a 2-person deal that he's figured out that if I take this rubber hose, he holds it onto the end, and I give a little squirt, squirt, it fills it. It's so tight in there, there's no way that it can actually get anything in it. Ready?
Yep. All right, stop there. I think it's gonna be good. Let me see it find its level. It's coming down a little. You know, once you shoot it, it fills the tube,
Right.
but then it runs out in the gears and stuff and goes down.
One more time?
One more time will be good. Yep. All right, hang with it there. Okay.
You got it?
You got that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just installed this new weenie-looking air filter that probably looks better than my old one. Cotton is working on fixing the fuel filter in the back.
Going all over the place. On the bottom down there.
Really?
Yeah, down on the bottom.
Here's what we're dealing with. We're trying to put gas in the tank, and it's pouring straight on the ground. The hose that goes from the filler to the side of the tank is just dumping gas, and it'll probably continue to because the gas will splash up there, and if we overfill it, it'll just dump forever.
The problem we found out is the fuel neck itself is junk. Remember the rubber? Junk. So what we end up doing is going to get a new one, which I'm going to cut it down, put it in, then we can put fuel back in this, and then see what happens. Because it wasn't working. And I don't know if it's got gas in it anyways, because the Roadkill ways, they don't put gas in. You're probably like, Cotton, why are you using a cutoff wheel to cut that? Well, let me explain this to you. This hose itself has a spiral slinky. That's what we're gonna call it, inside of it. What it does is it holds its form, but anytime there's any pressure or anything like that, it just doesn't. So you need that. Let them know right away if it's leaking. Nothing?
Nothing.
Hi, diggity.
Good work. Thank you for doing that. All right, ready to start it and see what happens?
Yeah. Not a lot of fuel in it.
It runs.
I mean, it ain't as full as I would want it to be, but it's running fine. You gave it gas, it didn't act stupid. Worst that can happen, we put an electric pump on it if we have to.
And I have 2 of them with us. We'll find out tomorrow. My Scrambler had been sitting for 4 or 5 years. We totally got the thing going yesterday. Did a lot of little tiny details. Mike Cotton was a complete boss making the fuel system happen.
Oh, you did everything else, though.
But it was a good day. And now is the time we actually have to leave the house and hope that we can drive, I don't know, 700 miles or something to Moab, Utah to 4-wheel this thing.
This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and this is gonna be his first experience in the Jeep.
It's gonna be my first 4-wheel drive, Moab, everything. Okay. This thing's too high, first of all.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Will it run this morning?
Don't say that. Yes. Did you pull your choke?
I did. What's going on?
Do that again. You got no fuel.
There we go. Man. Oh, I know. See it smoking?
What's that mean?
The choke is too much. Oh, well.
It's stuck? Oh, hell.
And we're off.
What? So what's the speed we gonna travel at? 4?
65 or 70?
This thing gonna be all over the road at 65 or 70.
Maybe. You know what actually is most impressing me right now? Is that the tires feel round. Sitting for like 4 years like that?
Well, maybe we're sitting so high that we're not supposed to feel the...
Look at the vital signs. This thing's great. What's it running at, 155 degrees?
Yeah, it looks it. About a little less than 160. Your oil pressure is about 50.
Yep.
Look at that. Gauges work. Things are lubed up. We got the gears going. Man, we're going to make it all the way. Yeah, you need to put a motor in here that's got some power.
Yeah, the motor is gutless. I will tell you now, this thing is remarkably awful in sand dunes. It weighs way too much and doesn't have enough power, and the gears in low range are so low that you can't get enough wheel speed. So it's like the worst combination of terrible.
Does more horsepower help in rock hauling?
There's 2 styles. What a lot of guys do these days, they have an automatic, and they'll set themselves up on an obstacle and goose it, and bop, 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 and get up. It works. I'm really old school. I like the stick, I like the low gears. I want to drive elegant. I want to come up to an obstacle and just chug up it at about 300 RPM.
So it really doesn't mean about the horsepower then?
Not a bit. It's all about the gears and torque.
Oh. I can't wait to see what this... I ain't scared of nothing. I'm not scared. Yeah, I am.
We're about 200-ish miles from home, and we pulled over here because look at that traffic jam. The 15 freeway is stopped. As soon as we pulled over here, the Jeep wouldn't crank again, like the battery was dead, and we've also been having a problem where it idles terrible. Man, this thing used to fire up instantly. Something has changed.
Filter's clear, so we know it's not that issue or that filter. We'll just change these plugs. So we've checked the filters. Now we're gonna go straight into changing and checking a plug. It ain't bad.
That ain't bad, dude. No, that's great. But here, if you don't trust that, there. Oops, I went a little bit far there. You might want to fix that for me. I'll just go ahead and work on the carburetor.
Oh, great.
The real issue with the carburetor is probably inside the carburetor.
Like what you're doing there is just clean that.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, basically.
Superficially.
I'm polishing it like cottonwood. This engine used to lug down to 300 RPM in compound low and just chug up rocks. And it won't do that now because it runs bad. So I need to fix this one way or another, or I'm not going to be happy four-wheeling. Now that it's freezing and windy, we've got all the spark plugs changed. There's one spark plug boot over there that is beyond sketch. We don't like it at all. I think it's jumping to the header. I am gonna look for vacuum leaks by spraying the carb cleaner all around the base to see if we can hear the tone of the engine change once it's sucking in the carb cleaner and, you know, combusting it. And then when that doesn't work, I'm gonna do the old man trick of the rev and suck. What I'm gonna do is pick up the RPM, and then I'm gonna clog the primary here with my hand. That increases the airspeed through all the little passages in there, and sometimes, like, clears up an idle circuit and makes it run right. It's starting to rain, that's perfect.
Hey, do your super suck.
Oh, I'm gonna do the super suck.
Do your super suck.
I promise the super suck. I'm doing the super suck.
This can either be good or it can super suck.
Okay.
Get it?
Rev it up.
So you just choked it, and you think that everything just came through and went through. I call it a win. Well, his sucking job that he did, I guess worked. I don't know. It revved up a little bit more.
Admit it.
Then we get back on the road.
We got everything all buttoned up. We think it runs better. We won't really know until it warms up. We're not hopping on the freeway because that's still at a complete standstill. You're about to see your first off-roading experience. That road is supposed to go all the way to Baker, California.
Baker, California.
Yeah.
So we're going Froden. It's cold,
I'm getting
man.
wet, Cotton. Let's go.
We're going off-roading.
Ready for it to run perfectly?
Always.
Yes.
You sure this is a road, bro?
Yeah. See, this is what it's supposed to do. See how I'm dragging the brakes and it's just lugging down?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's perfect?
that is fixed, baby.
That's how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
All right.
The old man suck works every time.
I was impressed. I never would have done nothing like that. I just probably cleaned it out, but...
This dirt road should go all the way to Baker, California and avoid all that traffic. Look at those poor chumps. And they're not even enjoying the off-roading.
This is awesome. Can you picture driving all the way across the world like this? Woo.
Yeah, this right here with like 8 pounds in the tires would be great.
Look at this vehicle just dead.
Oh, wow.
What is that about?
Stolen.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
I think. Oh, ah. All right, here's the lay of the land. First of all, the Jeep is still running poorly. We kind of think that it's running on 7. We should probably change spark plug wires. I'm sure the carburetor's a problem, but I'm trying to deny that. And we're headed back because unfortunately the video van could not hang with the road we were taking to Baker, California.
Oh, there's big cliffs over there. They said cars were stuck.
All right. The problem is, Director Brad just cannot drive that Dodge little van to save his life.
Okay.
You guys ready to hit the road?
Yeah, we were just criticizing you on camera for not being able to handle the slightest obstacle in the van.
Excuse me?
4.5 hours to go 20 miles because at 5:30 a.m. a truckload of lithium batteries had spilled and they couldn't clean it up in 20 hours or something like that. We got in at 4:30 in the morning. It was really bad.
We did try to go a little off-roading, but that didn't quite work out.
Nah, did not. But the cool thing is, you know how we've been battling this thing running poorly the whole time? I got out at night in traffic and looked at the spark plug wire on the other side, and it's throwing sparks directly to the header.
Yeah.
This morning I woke up after like 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And I threw on these clothes. It's not like my normal mufti. This is like
that looks like some Jeepy Jeep.
Brand new hat, like from Discovery, and this jacket is so new. I was like, I look like somebody with a rooftop tent.
What you do?
Or perhaps with like, you know, handing ducks out to Jeeps or something like that. It's a little too clean. So I think, there we go. It's gonna help that jacket quite a bit. I'm trying to like patina this thing so that I don't look like such a tool. All right, let's put a spark plug wire on this thing.
Okay.
It needs to run flawlessly at 300 RPM under load. What I'm gonna do is label the cylinder number on each one of the boots here so that I can put them back in the same place. And I'm gonna take all the wires off and pull the cap and rotor off and inspect it. All right, you wanna find out what's going on with the distributor cap?
I hope it's that.
Not really. That is trash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Rotor worse?
There's so much crud in here. You know what the problem is with the Jeep? Is that this fills up when it's raining and goes right to the distributor cap, and they always corrode. At this point, you can go, will we ever fix it? It might not happen in time. We might not ever make it to the trail. But we're gonna find out. Oh, dude, how does it even run? Okay, we can clean this up. Can you put it in neutral and just bump it?
Okay.
Go. Stop. The thing I'm cleaning here is called the reluctor wheel, and it's part of the distributor of an electronic ignition. It is a star with 8 points on it, one for each cylinder, and this item over here that's blue is called the magnetic pickup. And basically, as the star has a tooth past the magnet, it creates a sine wave that then tells the computer box or the MSD box to actually send a spark out to the cylinder. It's just the trigger instead of ignition points.
So we do have the new parts to fix this, but to be honest, this isn't broke, it's just dirty. I'd rather field repair this thing than anything. So we've done clean up the rotor, the cap, and everything. He's gonna hit it. Let's hopefully it runs good.
I'm not even getting in, I'm not even touching the gas. I'm finding neutral and firing it up.
That's with the choke on?
The choke's still on, it's still on high idle.
Right. Oh,
there you go. I kicked it off the high idle off the choke. It's still on another step. It'll still get lower than this, but I think it's gonna be good. Let's go for the lug test. I'm gonna throw it in low range. We'll see if it'll tug down.
You gonna chug over your jacket?
Oh, dude, this is it. That is it.
Is that how it's supposed to do it?
Yes. That is 300. And will it recover? Yes. Oh, yes. It is fixed. This is the way this thing is supposed to be. We are rock crawling now. Ready for Zion?
Zion, let's go.
Oh, dude.
That's a lot better for sure.
Yes. This thing also runs way better at RPM.
No miss or nothing, huh?
So good.
Well, you can feel it.
Yes. I'm next level happy, Cotton.
Next level happy?
Next level.
So how long has this Easter Jeep Safari been going on?
Oh, that's a good question. This is like year 56 or 7.
Really?
Something like that. The way it works is they have a number of runs on different trails every day for the days leading up to Easter, and they do a bunch of individual trail runs like what we're gonna go on that are sort of private invitationals.
Okay.
We just went through Virgin, Utah. We crossed the Virgin River, and we're going to the, I think, Grafton Ghost Town.
Ghost? Woo! You sure we're going? This sort of looks like we're in somebody's house.
This is the guy I think is where the Land Speed Racer used to live. Pretty sure. Do you see? Yep.
Yeah.
See it? See the streamliner right there?
Yeah, I see it.
Yep. That's him right there. What you're about to see here is what I think is the greatest thing about going on road trips is you never know what to expect, and it's always going to be great if you get off the beaten path. Cotton and I were taking this road to go see a little bit of a ghost town, and I remembered being here a long time ago and seeing something on the side of the road that I confirmed right here today. This is the shop and home of Vesco Racing. This is the Turbinator Streamliner, which is the fastest wheel-driven car on Earth. 503 miles an hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. And to give you some context, I was the editor of Hot Rod Magazine for like a dozen years plus and very involved in Bonneville racing. And what you're seeing here is the very, very peak of Bonneville racing. The fastest car that's ever run there, the fastest car without thrust on Earth, and just a treasure trove of like memorabilia. So this is the car, this is the man. This is Rick Vesco, and he and his brother Don have been racing for how long?
Forever.
And they were involved in all kinds of racing. They've got timing tags over here from Willow Springs on motorcycles, drag racing, I guess a little street racing, but the big deal has been Bonneville. Here's an interesting thing about top speed racing. If a vehicle is at terminal velocity, it takes 8 times the horsepower to double the speed. So aerodynamics are infinitely more important than the power itself, and the faster you go, the more power gain you need to pick up just a little bit of speed.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's a combination of aerodynamics and small tires, but small tires don't get traction like the bigger tires,
Right.
so that's why we build a four-wheel drive.
How does that work? I mean,
well, right here, there's a differential, just a right-angle drive gearbox and 1-to-1 ring and pinion. Got 17-inch tread width here, but 12 in the back. The drivetrain is transferred, the power transfers over to that differential with a big 6-inch wide Gates belt, just like a supercharger belt. It's a 8mm metric. Boy, they're tough. They are tough. We're running 5 times the torque
that it's designed for.
For.
What's interesting, do you notice he said it's a 1-to-1 ring and pinion?
Right.
So there's no gear reduction at all there. So it's
these are turning about 7,500, the wheels.
Which means if the engine's turning 16,000, he's got a reduction unit on it.
When we got rid of the Chevys and kept getting on more and more power, we started twisting shafts off. So we dropped it to a 1.17 ratio, and it's still too high geared.
Yeah.
It's about a 560 gear if you add another mile or so.
Right. Man, the ingenuity. Homegrown stuff, 500 miles an hour. Look, he's got a Hot Rod Magazine sticker right there.
I sat there and I kept looking in it, and that's why I was like, I could never climb in it and look at life. Like, it's just so tight in here, like you're laying down. And he says he fits in. There ain't no way. There ain't no.
Yeah.
You don't really sit in the car, you wear it.
You wear it, yeah.
I ain't wearing this. This ain't no suit for me. When you start to look at time like that,
Hours.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's.
I only run in the 200s, and what I tell people is that 200 miles an hour is a football field a second.
But that ain't, he got you beat.
Yeah. Legit, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. That's good.
It was
see all of you guys.
Complete surprise to me, but 100% worth it. I'm sorry we got to take off so quick. Well, hope to see you on the salt.
Onward, guys.
Yep.
Have fun. Be safe.
Thank you.
Don't tip over.
I can't guarantee that. You don't expect to turn a corner here and see the fastest.
No, it didn't really sink in. Yeah, it goes 500, and he goes, that's the fastest wheel car. And I'm like, what?
You know, the fastest wheel-driven vehicle in the world. All right, we're still on the trail to Grafton. Wow, look at the view.
Dude, you can look at pictures, you can watch TV, but I would never graft my lifetime on this, because hey, I don't have any cars that'll go down this road. Everything I got's low, so.
Or not running.
I used to like it. don't like ghost towns and I don't like old buildings.
I love ghost towns and old buildings in history. I'm glad people are preserving this. After getting in at 4:30 in the morning last night and barely sleeping, it's already been a great day.
Oh, great day.
And now, Zion National Park. We're gonna go through some tunnels and stuff, see some amazing sights, canyons, everything.
I can't wait because this looks amazing already.
It's gonna get dark soon, and our final destination tonight is gonna be Page, Arizona, so we're cannonballing through the park.
Oh, it feels good. This is awesome.
So colorful. I love the tone of the red earth around here.
So we're gonna go through, you say tunnels?
Yep, there's one up there. The tunnels are in that cliff wall right there.
What?
And then there are observation windows cut through the cliff wall in the tunnel. This is the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel, completed in 1930. There you go, 1 mile. See, no stopping in tunnel. Isn't it great?
Wow. There ain't no lights in this thing,
Wow.
is
Maybe I can go for the high beams.
there? What?
Whoa. I'm blinding that for us.
This is crazy.
Isn't it? So here's the window right here that I was showing you. See that?
That's amazing.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, it might be a 4x4, it might be like a sightseeing trip, it might be Mike Cott instead of Mike Finnegan. I might be too Natalie dressed, but it is still a roadkill, and you can tell by the fact that this garbage keeps breaking down.
Yes.
He's freezing to death.
It's cold.
We were touring Zion here, and I looked down at the floorboards, and I'm like, huh, there's a new wet spot there. It's a clutch master cylinder puking on the inside of the firewall.
Yep.
It's going past the seal and the piston. It's eventually gonna pump all the fluid onto the floorboards. And we're in the middle of Zion National Park, so we're not fixing that anytime soon. So I'm gonna be driving it clutchlessly as much as I can. We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Page, Arizona tonight.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a nice warm room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and minimize using the clutch pedal so I don't pump all the fluid out. Here's something that you really wanna be able to do if you've got a manual transmission rock crawler, and that is start it in gear while you're on an obstacle so that you're not stepping on the clutch and rolling backwards. I'm not in low range, but I am in first. Let's see if the starter has the power to crank, move the vehicle, and start the engine at the same time. Here we go. Yes.
It worked!
Yes. Horseshoe Bend outside of Page, Arizona, a really famous spot on the Colorado River.
This is amazing.
Except he won't get closer than that.
Nah, it ain't working.
Not working?
No.
Nah, you're right. It's 1,000 feet down. Our Jeep's out in the parking lot, and it's got a couple problems we're gonna have to tinker with this morning.
We're gonna have to.
But tonight, we're gonna make it all the way to Moab.
3 days ago, we were sitting in his driveway. Now we're here.
It's way better.
Dude, this is what road tripping's all about.
And now Jeeping, or at least Jeep fixing. First of all, I'm very perfectionistic about the idle situation.
Yep.
And now it's smooth, but it sort of picks its RPM, so I have to fix that. And I also pointed out when we were in Zion that the clutch master cylinder is puking inside. We searched this whole area and could not find a new one, so I called our friend Dave Chappelle. He's like, yeah, I've been up 20 hours, I'm in Montana somewhere. So I'm gonna just need you to go ahead and stop in Salt Lake City for me and pick up a master cylinder.
And did he?
So he did. So we'll get to that later on. How do you feel about putting on one new spark plug wire to solve the one that you taped?
I think that that's not going to do anything because I put so many, electrical tape on it and it's still arcing through, but we do have that whole other set of wires, so.
We're replacing the one spark plug wire that is burned. We got this Excel set at some part store somewhere. That boot is smaller and further away from the header. That might help us a little bit. All right, with that, I'm gonna move on to carburetor fooling. What I think is happening is that the linkage for that idle up circuit is sticking, so that's what I'm gonna mess with. May I have a zip tie, Mr. Cotton? Thank you, my son. Let's see, there we go. Now does the linkage work and not stick it wide open? All right, Cotton, when you're driving right now, it's not gonna stick it wide open. That's one problem you won't have to worry about.
So technically, it shouldn't rev high, it should still be cold start.
So it's not running awesome, it actually wants to die, but remember, it might want the choke when it's dead cold like this. So we might not have the answer until it warms up. Okay, listen to the engine right now. Now listen when I spray. Hear it pick up RPM? I'm spraying directly at the throttle shaft. The throttle shaft bushing or seal is bad. Yeah.
That's what our whole problem is.
For sure. All right, well, nothing I'm gonna do about that. Well, we found a problem. It might not be the problem. So now, Cotton's gonna drive out of here and we're Moab bound.
Did I get in like a Jeeper?
You're failing test number 1.
What do you mean I failed? I got in. This is the highest vehicle I've ever driven.
Get a good view.
You're getting a view of everything.
It's not a hot rod. Man, we've had an amazing day today. Fixed some stuff early this morning, seeing a whole bunch of sights. Right now we're in Monument Valley, and this is the spot that was where Forrest Gump stopped his run. In an earlier episode, we had epic footage of Steve Dulcich running like a gazelle down the middle of the street right here. These competition tires are such soft rubber that even with however many miles we've gone, they're already getting feathered.
Yeah, they're getting hard.
But nonetheless, it's gonna make it to Moab, which is what we're gonna do right now. Then either we're gonna fix the clutch master cylinder or we're not, and we're gonna do some real four-wheeling, and we should connect with Dave Chappelle.
I'm down.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go.
All right, out. It's morning in Moab, Utah. We actually made it. We drove this thing like 550 plus miles. We are at the Easter Jeep Safari that's hosted by the Red Rock Four-Wheelers. It happens every single year. And we have to remove all the parts I don't want to trash, which means the roof, I don't want to lean over into a rock and crack that super rare Scrambler half cab. And then the doors, actually because I want to be able to get in and out easy. And unfortunately, the hood has to go, which makes the Jeep look goofy. But these tires rub these fenders. And now, with 100% more, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Dirthead Dave sort of connected us with the Real Truck trail ride this morning. And
yeah,
have no idea what's actually going to happen, but he's going to stick with us so that I don't get in trouble.
You're cool and all, but your Jeep's cooler.
It's way better. I was surprised how many people already were like, oh man, you brought the Scrambler out.
So
it's cool.
I guess we are heading out of town with our old friend Trent McGee's leading this trip down a dirt road, and then we're going to get to some sand dunes.
Yeah.
So. And
you're driving a butter Jeep. What's the deal with that?
This is the last Jeep that we ever built on dirt every day. It's my 94 YJ. This is probably the smallest, most unassuming thing out here.
And we've got the 2 oldest Jeeps in town.
Yeah.
All right, I'm super stoked on it. And
Dude.
Cotton has never been four-wheeling ever.
I jumped in this thing from the hotel and didn't have no doors, and I felt unsafe.
Well, this is weird. It's like every time I'm around Cotton, I have to fix things.
Hold up.
This episode has been really cool for me because I've been able to get my Jeep out in a long, long time. I'm stoked to see Chappelle. It's just gonna be a good day. It was about 40 minutes in here, big, long, dusty road, and we're the only Jeep with no top, and so we're all covered with dust and everything, which Cotton has never experienced. Everyone's airing their tires down. You just do that for a better ride quality and more traction. Dave told me that these Trepadors tend to pop the inside bead because the sidewall's so stiff, but it's got a bead lock on the outside. So I wanted to go to 5 pounds. He was like, you probably shouldn't do that. So I'm going to 9. This whole area is called the Whitewash Sand Dunes. We're gonna drive through this wash, which is gonna be easy and a lot of fun and sandy, and then we're gonna get into some rocks.
We're getting out of the wash and we're going into the dunes.
Yeah, this sand is not gonna be a problem. Big dunes will be terrible.
It is so cool to see Chappelle.
Yep.
He's a good dude. Plus you're in his element out here, you know?
Sweet. I love duning.
Oh, this was great.
Here's your first time on Slick Rock right here.
Okay.
We're still in two-wheel drive, and I've been doing fine on the dune. Have you never driven on a sand dune before?
No, we don't
Really?
have them. We don't have sand dunes.
Wow.
It's
So
like, this is awesome. This is like crazy feeling to me. It's gonna fist bump me. Let's go.
I'm glad you're digging it.
Dude, I love it.
We've been blasting around the dunes. I feel pretty good. I was able to follow Chappelle in two-wheel drive. I thought this was gonna be way worse than that. I'm still in high range too. Next up, we got a big puddle to go through.
We just got out to this really cool like hidden sand dune section in Moab, and now apparently they've had just torrential downpour because we're about to do some water crossing that's probably 40 inches deep. It's gonna be rad. So we'll see. We might get water in the rig, we might not. I got a camera guy with me. No, we're fine. That Cherokee's making it through. Here we go. Locked it up. That's it for this Jeep. Yep, that was it. We're taking on.
Dude, this is a lot of water. Look at him, he's stuck it.
Hope not.
I hydro-locked it. The Jeep's done.
No way. Oh.
We're gonna have to tow this thing out pretty quick. It's taking on a lot of water.
Okay.
So Chappelle went in before us and it stalled, it had to have, and hydrolocked it. So that means that the water is inside of it. So don't want to kill it any worse. We're gonna pull it out. And now we in this water, and we splitting water all over us.
Yeah, the fan is in.
This is what Roadkill is like.
I'll pull up.
Hey, didn't you make a comment about I always break stuff? He's basically done for today.
Yeah.
See, we drove 7 hours just to help him out.
I think I just roached the motor in this thing. Cotton to the rescue.
Look at the water pouring out of the underside of Dave's Jeep.
This is insane. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this a little love. He always says that I broke stuff, but he's breaking stuff because he's getting stuck out in the water. We're gonna pull all the plugs out. Right now we're having an issue with the plug wires, of course, because Dave bought junk plug wires. So we're gonna fix those, turn it over, hopefully get the water out of it, see if it didn't bend the rod because of the hydraulic in there. The water gets in there, goes, so if it's broke, it's on him, not me.
Okay, so we got 3 wet, 3 dry.
Gosh, this is actually the first time I've swamped an engine.
Really?
Yeah. So crank it and see what comes out.
Oh, water's gonna come out.
Ready?
Crank it.
Ready?
Crank it. Oh. Oh.
It's done.
That motor's junked.
Oh no.
Sorry, Dave. Did you want me to drive across this just to show you how it works?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Okay.
Why you gotta be that mean? His heart just broke. Man, this is deep.
It seems so simple now. You just drive through and you don't suck water in the engine, I guess.
That water was all the way up to here.
Yeah, it hit my air filter too, which is now garbage. Okay, Cotton.
What?
Real talk.
Okay.
We start to roll. Do not grab this.
Don't you grow up like
or
this?
Or this.
I got that, but why did you real talk me?
Just anything can happen anywhere.
Okay. That's awesome, dude.
Okay, but what if we go down in here?
What do you mean go down in there? We don't
Uh-oh. I slipped off the line.
Hey, man,
what do I do? What do I do?
I hope you don't be playing.
What do I do, Cotton?
Freiburger, let it chug. Let it chug. Oh, hell. Oh, oh.
How was that?
That was not nice. There is not a path here. You're going up all that?
Yeah.
Man. Oh,
it's pretty good, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Is that rock the problem?
No, you can go back like 10 feet pretty easily.
The problem is my right rear is about to slide off this thing. There we go. How's it look?
Thing's working like a champ.
Yep.
Got a little papa wheelie going on?
Yep. How am I looking?
You're good. Ah, the tires are killing it.
You like the lug? 300 RPM.
It's pretty good.
I love it. I'm not even touching the steering wheel.
Right.
Literally not touching the Jeep.
What a cool Jeep.
I'm a wheeler. That's what he is. Look at that chugga. Oh boy. Have you ever flipped it backwards?
No.
It's so fun. I wish I could go four-wheeling. Cotton, this is nothing like wheeling in the South.
Really?
This is almost nothing like wheeling. All right, Dave guided me through some pretty cool stuff. I had fun. Now Cotton needs to drive. Okay, you are perfectly aligned.
Okay. He believes in me, and I hope you believe in me too. I'm gonna climb this wonderful rock. I'm a rock man. I do not like this. It's creeping along. Come on, creeper. Come on, baby. Come on. I'm leaning forward. I'm leaning forward. Don't you flip. Look at this. Look at this. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Chug a chug. I'm climbing a mountain.
Congratulations, Cotton. You can navigate a speed bump in a supermarket parking lot. You may not be a Jeep or 4x4 guy, but I hope you got a sense of it in the episode, and maybe you'll even want to try it. See, my usual co-host Mike Finnegan is into muscle cars, drag cars, boats, mini trucks. Mike Cotton is into pro street cars, customs, show cars, and I'm into muscle cars, trucks, 4x4s, and land speed racing. So all of our friends' interests are all over the map. The message is, take your kink and share it. Kind of like what I just did with Cotton in the Jeep. You never know what kind of interest you're gonna spark, because inspiring interest in gearhead stuff is really our main goal in every episode of Roadkill.
Soft-spoken, but I see the spark, hiding fire in the dark. Eyes down low, lips so sweet, but I know what's underneath. You play it cool, you take it slow, but I can feel the undertow. One touch, one move, let it show. Baby, don't hold back, let it go. Shy girl, I know your game. Innocence wrapped up in flames. Slow burn, but I feel the heat come closer. Give it all
This time on Roadkill, dirt cheap fun that you can do at home.
We are building our own dirt track and running circle track cars on it. Boom!
There's a cannon.
Whoa!
Wow! Dude, season 12, the special effects are getting
not
real.
Fooling. That was some concussion. We are in Mooresville, North Carolina, Race City, USA, and that's exactly what we're gonna do is race. I bought 2 cars. Finnegan has no idea what they are. The thing is, we don't have a racetrack.
I know, but we have equipment. We have machines we've never driven before. I'm so excited. We're in the parking lot of Customs by Biggin. Proprietor Eric Yost not only runs the shop, but 2 blocks away is Mooresville Dragway. Eric also runs that place, and he said, I don't care what you do. We have an asphalt 8th mile.
I don't care what you do.
We have a 300-foot dirt. They're next to each other, but more importantly, there's acres and acres of forest and land with elevation changes, and we can connect all of it because Eric is crazy.
We're gonna bulldoze, and I've never driven heavy equipment ever, so this is gonna be funny.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see the cars. Ready?
Me too. I love this part. Where are they? Let's
Over
go.
here.
Okay.
Remember, I haven't seen these either.
You haven't? Oh, dude. Hey, there's no motor in that one. Oh, look at the other one, too. They match.
Yep.
What do you call these?
I don't know. It's a local circle track class. They're 33 or 34 Ford fake bodies, and the chassis on them is like a G-body, like an 84 Monte Carlo or something like that.
This is wider, though, than like a real one, right?
Well, they're wider than a 33 Ford by a lot.
Right.
But that's because they're a stock G-body chassis.
Dude.
Yep, and that one has an engine in it. This one does not, but we bought a 350 to put in it.
Dude, it has Nerf bars.
Uh-huh.
Like, I can run into you, and you'll probably be okay.
I wouldn't go that far. Isn't it cool?
This is amazing. We're gonna have so much fun with this.
Ooh, that one's tight. Do you even fit in it? You gonna hop in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is this one mine?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I just failed. I gave him the white car. We bought a 350 for this. That one's got a 305 in it. So you just like fell upwards.
It never matters. You always find a way to win.
How's it fit?
Oh, dude. No, this is good, dude. I fit.
Yeah?
I think the seat needs a little tweaking so that I can actually steer. But other than that, I feel relatively safe in this.
This one's a 32 Ford. This is like a 33 or 4.
So I have the aerodynamic advantage.
Yeah, theoretically. This is gonna be fun, but we do have to put an engine in this before we can have fun.
Yeah, can we work on it?
Oh, we can fire this one up though. There's no seat in this one.
Okay.
They definitely have the left-hand turn alignment going on.
You have a hinged access panel to get in and out.
Huh. Plan. Like you want to pull yours in, investigate it, put the engine in?
Kind of want to watch yours go, I gotta be honest.
I'll drive it if we can find a seat. And there's a little track over there.
Ooh,
we can blast it around, yeah.
I love this plan.
Yeah, I don't know if it even runs. I basically know nothing.
Okay.
Install seat, make sure that it runs, drive around and find out what's wrong with it.
Solid.
Yeah.
I love this plan. Okay, let's go get a seat.
Yep.
I'm a good friend. And I'm such a good friend that I found him a used Kirky aluminum seat. This is the kind of thing you use when drag racing. So note the lack of head containment or any sort of padding here that would help him in the event of an accident. Ah, just fell right into place. Oh, even the belts line up. It's perfect. Drill some holes, install some bolts. She's ready to go. Be racing here in no time. I believe she is race ready. Ah, season 12, Dave joins the NBA Summer League.
I didn't have shoes. I had to go to the Cheapy Mart.
Those are great, dude.
Seat fits?
Whether you're gonna box somebody out or go around in circles on a dirt track, you're ready.
Did you actually bolt this in or is it zip tied?
No, yeah, it's got bolts.
Did you see the super extendo for the fuel fill? So what this thing is an extension to get fuel inside the cell, which is like halfway in the car. So that's pretty cool.
See, look at that. I hope it's going in the cell.
5 gallons, that's enough. What we're gonna do is watch me hop in this thing for the very first time. It's a race car, you know, I don't need to nut and bolt check it or anything. Just go drive it. There's an oval track here down the street.
And by oval track, he means a dirt circle, and by down the street, he means right here in Eric's backyard.
Really? I haven't been over there yet.
We're not going far at all.
Okay. All right, new kicks.
This is a big moment, everybody.
Yes,
This is a huge moment. Well, first you put on socks.
I don't have any socks. I bought the socks at the GP Mart and then left them on the counter.
Later on, 3-on-3, back at the hotel. They got a court.
Look, I know how to tie shoes. One leg in. Two leg in. I'm not really a dirt track guy.
None of us are.
I know.
I know your history, and mine. Should we recap? Should we go to the clips of what happens when he and I drive in circles on dirt?
We should.
We should.
Finnegan and I have both crashed the NASCAR low on different tracks and in different ways. After a ball joint broke, I backed it into the wall in Paris.
Oh, no.
And I went head on into a rogue tire that just appeared from nowhere in the middle of the infield of a dirt oval.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember when we had the airport limo and we went to that dirt track in the middle of nowhere and a tire blew? Okay.
You look safe.
The shifter in this thing is junk.
Okay, all right.
No spark or no fuel.
Yay! All right, all right. I hope he's excited, because I am. Oh, go, that's the building. Go that way.
All right, we're headed to the oval track.
Yeah, that looks so cool. Sketch factor is high. I love it. Let's go.
This is going to be my very first experience with an actual dirt track car. I'm ashamed to say I've never done this. I did go to sprint car school one time, like 25 years ago-ish. All right, where's Finnegan?
Yes.
Yeehaw!
This is a kid's go-kart track.
It's banked a little.
It's got a little bit of banking, a little elevation change, and if you're feeling froggy, there is a jump in the middle.
You realize I've never driven a real dirt track car. This could be embarrassing.
Not for me.
Yeah,
You're gonna be fine.
Will be later.
You're gonna be fine.
Let me first just sort of feel it out. Feel out the brakes and stuff. Let's see. Strap in a little tighter. Oh, wow, that's chunky right here.
Oh, dude, this thing's going. Oh, Freiburger sloops it out. Oh my God, I thought he was going off. There was a cloud of dust, and it looked like he entered that corner backwards. Look at him drift that corner like a boss.
I hit the berm.
Yeah. Oh. Wow. He went off the side. Oh, geez.
Microphone fell under my foot.
Oh my
They're going to have to pull me out of this.
Wow. If you had gone off over there, that would have been really bad. This is not as bad.
This went under my foot.
Well, why'd you do that? I feel like we just drag you out and you can go have more fun.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going again. They're going to just pull me backwards, and I'm ready to go.
A little more. We're good.
Shifter is really terrible. Cannot tell what gear I'm in.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at him drift. Yeah, Freiburger. I won't say this to his face, but the dude can drive.
Now that I've got some practice on the circle track, we decided this is really cool, and we need to put an engine in his car, but it's going to rain tomorrow, and we'd rather swap an engine in the rain than build a track in the rain. It's a big open field of just grass and weeds, and we're going to build a 2-wide track because we hope to race wheel to wheel in these cars.
I feel like we need a circle here. You know, that's the drift area.
Okay.
Right? We'll start here on the outside of the circle. We'll come over this way, swing back this way. We'll come out here, and here's your jump.
Which is actually the berm that's already over there?
Right. And then it'll kind of go like that. You're going to drift out of that, and then you're going to come here, and this is the start-finish. You have to drift this before you can continue on our kidney bean.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Now we just have to plow it, and we've never run equipment like this before, ever. Are you certified on that thing?
I am so not certified, but I'm so very happy to do this. Look, I'm a farmer.
You're gonna be the one setting the exact track.
Yeah.
Yeah, because tomorrow we're gonna come back and like bulldoze and make it too wide and dirt.
Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, there we go, I got it. All right. Oh, this is so cool. All right, so I'm gonna drive to what I think the starting line should be, and then I'll engage the PTO and I'll start cutting grass. I am fully mowing the lawn right now. This is awesome! If I had one of these at home, I'd probably be more inclined to want to mow my own yard. I've got our drift circle. Now I'm going towards the rest of the track. I think this is what I was meant to do my whole life. Design and build racetracks. There we go, over the jump.
We got the track sketched out, but we don't have a bulldozer right now, so we'll do that in the morning. So we're gonna see exactly what disaster is gonna befall us on putting an engine in this thing. All right, turbo 350, and we have to bolt a small block Chevy to it. We got a 350 to put in it, but it's a one-piece rear main seal, and we don't have a flex plate for that, and I didn't know the pattern on this torque converter. We've got a stack of headers over there to throw in it, so we'll decide what to do in the morning.
All right.
I can't wait.
Dude.
It's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be, like the track, I mean, granted, I was going half a mile an hour around it. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, I looked at the drone shot of what you were doing. You were actually nailing it.
It's wide enough where we could both go off the jump together.
Yeah.
We could high five.
And now, the real reason for the episode. We are dozing.
And our instructor is our friend, Eric Yost, owner of Customs by Biggin, which is right there, manager of the drag strip, and we've never driven one of these. Like, I've never even climbed into one, and I'm gonna guess it's wildly different than the lawnmower.
It is, but you'll fall in love with it. It's way cooler than a lawnmower.
I've never driven anything like this either, so you're gonna school us?
Yeah, it's easy peasy, no problem.
This is a Cat D6.
Brake pedal, D-cell pedal, gear shifter, and blade. You're good to go.
Okay, all right.
So, blade, up, twist, and if you wanted to pull the trigger, it does the tilt.
Okay. This is gonna be a mess, you know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Good luck. Have fun.
All right. This is gonna be a disaster.
Here we go, we're off. Freiburger's about to start digging our racetrack. It's official now. We're transitioning from farmers to excavators.
I think I'm getting it now. Not digging on the right. Takes some practice to figure out how to dig the right amount.
What's his score? What's his grade?
Not bad. I've seen worse.
I see a lot of divots.
Yes.
I'm not seeing a smooth cut.
No.
I'm digging so bad. I'm hardly digging at all is the problem. I am doing terrible. I can't figure out how to get the blade in just the right place. I'm getting in a rut where I dig too deep, and then I lift the shovel back up, and then I dig too shallow, so I'm making whoop-de-doos. It's kind of hard. Yeah, like that was a deep dig right there.
He's doing great. No, he's not.
It's fun, but I'm terrible.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
I'm terrible.
Those last 7 feet, mwah, perfect.
It's so
The
hard.
first 400 feet, though, a little bumpy.
Like Eric was telling me, you start to dig, and then you back out of it, and you start making whoop-de-doos.
Do you have fun?
Yes, it's pretty great. I do not feel competent, but it is cool.
What part of the track did you figure out how to do it correctly on? Because I'm I'm just not seeing it, dude.
All right, Mr. Big Talk, hop in.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do any better, but a couple hours ago, we had a racetrack. Now we have a supercross track. Look at the whoop-de-doos.
Oh, yeah?
You have any tips for how not to do that?
Don't do it.
Okay.
It takes a lot of blade control.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay, refresher course.
Yeah.
This is your throttle. Right now, the fuel pump is off. You have to start it right about there.
Okay.
The parking brake has to be off. You turn the key to fire the thing up.
It looks fairly level. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I see what he's talking about. Oh, my God. This is so hard.
There he goes. Now it's gonna start to dig deep. There it went. See that? See how the blade dug down? And there's Finnegan's first whoop-de-doo.
Yep, I just made a whoop-de-doo. So pretty much you're constantly raising and lowering the thing. Oh boy, I just dug a giant pit all the way down to China just now.
Well, I succeeded in banking the turn right here by tilting the blade.
Oh, why is he walking in front of me? That's not safe.
Yep, making whoop-de-doos. It's hard, man. Right now, Eric's telling him that he needs more angle in the blade this way because even though he's doing a good job leveling out some of the whoop-de-doos, he's leaving piles of dirt like this in the middle of the track. If you got more angle on the blade, then it'll shove the dirt off to the side. I can feel the earth shake. Thunderstorm is coming in. Finnegan and I have both made like 100 laps doing the best we can. How good is the best we can?
Better than it was before.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it better than you expected from us?
It's not bad. I mean, to be a first-time dozer operator, that's not shabby.
All right. That's all we can ask for.
I'll take that, all right.
How are we gonna fix it though? Because I'm not driving those cars on this.
Probably a little bit of smoothing with this and then the grader.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow as we fix the track. And remember, we still have to put an engine in his car. And the engine that we got, by the way, needs a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay, straight. To the right. Building a race car today.
We are, and we built a race track yesterday, and we left a lot of whoop-de-doos in it, and so we got a guy out there with a grader now smoothing it out for us. So that's going on here around the block, and it's time to put a 350 Chevy into Mike's car. A little different than what they would run in circle track engines. It's got a serpentine belt drive. This one obviously did not. The motor mounts in the car are weird custom fabricated things, and we only have half of them, so we're gonna have to make those mounts. So we'll learn as we go. It'll be easy just to plop it right in. Tech tip, the small block Chevy used two different types of rear main seals. The early ones are a two-piece seal, the ones that always leak. The later ones are a one-piece seal. You can actually look carefully and see the neoprene or rubber or whatever it's made out of all the way around here. When they changed from the two-piece to the one-piece, the back of the crankshaft flange became smaller to accommodate the seal, and so the bolt pattern is also smaller. So you need a flex plate that matches with the bolt pattern. The other thing is when they made the back of that crank smaller and there's no counterweight on it, they needed to add a counterweight to the flex plate like this. All 350 small block Chevys came from the factory internally balanced, and this is confusing because it uses a neutral balance damper on the front, but it does require that weight on the flex plate. So now you know.
This was in a car with a stick.
What Mike just noticed is that this engine has a pilot bushing in it, meaning it was for a manual transmission. And I'm looking at that bushing and wondering if it's gonna hit the snout of the torque converter that centers in this ring.
Okay, so whatever that is.
680.
After some careful measuring and a lot of common sense, we realized that the snout of our torque converter is gonna hit the pilot bushing in the back of the crankshaft. Clearance is a problem. We need to get the pilot bushing out. So yeah, right now, these glazed donuts are about to go where no donut's gone before. So the key here is you want to use glaze, okay? Because there's gonna be some friction. We're almost there. Boom. Another successful food-related removal of a pilot bearing.
Perfect. We're moving on. For some reason, the frame mount was loose, and so we have to install that right here. So we're gonna have to fabricate the mounts on the other side of the engine. So once we get this installed, we'll lower the engine into it and figure out what we need to do. We've got it bolted together, and I can reach under here and spin the torque converter freely, which is what you want. When you put an automatic transmission and engine together, you want that torque converter to turn, and when you bolt it onto the flex plate, you want it to just pull forward about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch forward to the plate.
And these bolts are the perfect length now.
We totally roadkilled the hardware on here. We didn't have the right bolts, so we stacked nuts to make ones that would work. The freedom of working on a circle track car. There's no firewall to get in our way. We're moving really slowly here, so I thought I would make the list. Number one, we need to make motor mounts happen one way or another. Eric's out trying to solve that problem for us. Fuel pump and system. This thing needs a battery. We need a radiator. The radiator's gonna need hoses. All right, I hope Eric has motor mounts because I really don't want to fabricate that.
We have a part we can use as a template for the block side.
Yeah.
And bolt right there. I'm gonna craft a beautiful set of motor mounts using drill bits that do not want to drill.
There's a store 25 minutes away that already has it in stock. Would that be faster than what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might even work, too. This Freiburger just showed me something that already exists right here in Racetown, USA, rendering me virtually useless. I don't even need to be here. So our car came with frame side mounts, but no motor mounts. And we thought at first this was some homemade job that was done really well, and as it turns out, no. All-Star Performance actually sells this exact mount for our chassis. We're good to go. We can keep trucking with all the other things that this car needs. It'll be running before you know it. All right, that one's on.
I'm going to push it this way.
Okay, go ahead. There we go.
Leverage is your friend.
Motor's mounted, dude.
Yep.
Nice.
The only thing I can think of that might make us remove it again is the headers, so I think we should do that next.
I also think you should cross that off right
I think you're right. You know what? I'm gonna cross it off in red, just because it's that sporty. Ready? Motor mounts. That's a happy moment. Now everything else can fall into place. Ooh. Those headers are gonna be very different than what Finnegan ends up with. The headers are different than what's on my car. We either have chassis headers, which means the engine has to come back up, or these.
You said there's another pair?
There is, but they're just regular chassis headers. Yeah, these aren't happening.
I don't know. I think they might. Ed, I got mine in.
Really?
Yep. It's in, it's not on.
Yeah.
I don't think these are for this car.
No.
What about if yours goes on my side? I mean, except for the fact that we have tires, this would work. Where's the other ones?
Outside.
Ooh.
It won't go high enough?
It's got to come up like half the bolt hole, but that is hitting this cross member.
Oh, you can cut it off.
So the passenger side header wants to go on, but the chassis doesn't want it to let it to be there. So we're going to have to cut that resonator / muffler off of it so it'll stop hitting the chassis so that I can bolt this to the cylinder head. Man. There we go.
Carburetor going on. This appears to be an Edelbrock, probably 600. We don't know a lot about this engine. I do know that it's a 350 small block. It has an HEI distributor, which was super handy, doesn't require a coil. The intake manifold is one of those Performer EPS units, a dual plane that's supposed to work good with their carburetor. I know that Finnegan now has more cubes than me. Did you know my car's a 305?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Headers, carb.
Spark plugs are in.
Woohoo! Things are finally moving. We do have the 350 bolted in place. Headers, I'm working on fuel system and stuff, but I think we're gonna call it for the day. And when you come back, we're gonna make this run.
Then we're gonna drive it.
Yeah, then we're gonna race.
Wait till you see this track.
Yeah? It's
incredible. We're getting very close to firing the engine. This is a starter that you can clock multiple positions. I believe it's made by MSD. It's called the Dynaforce. And this might actually fit with our headers.
And radiator. We're gonna throw the radiator in, hook it up, and then put the car up in the air on the lift because there's a bunch more that needs to happen under there, like figuring out what the battery situation is.
All right, so what I'm thinking is if I hold this way and then you bendy it that way, then all we gotta do is bend the very end the opposite direction. Yeah, right there.
That is some dirt track engineering right there. And it's adjustable. You wanna lean that thing forward a little bit?
No, remember we gotta get the fan in there?
Yeah.
So I was trying to get her away as far as we could.
Here's where we are. Motor mount's done, fuel pump done, power steering pump, throttle linkage plug wires, thermostat housing, headers, radiator, and hoses. Nothing else that we can do up here at this moment, so we're gonna put it up in the air and look at the disaster that we have going on with the rear-mounted battery. There is no battery in it right now, but the tray is right here in the least convenient location. Better I'll have to come up this way and in. Okay.
Woo, that's my finger. Oh, there we go. Cool. Bingo. Black gold.
Yeah, we didn't change the oil. We just changed the filter because it was mashed. This one, like, touches the header a little bit, but it'll be okay.
Right now, one of the last pieces of the puzzle is the wiring of the car, and I'm installing a battery disconnect switch. It's gonna give us a point at which we can distribute power from the battery to the various things in the car, other circuits like the starter button, headlights, taillights, rocket launchers, anything we wanted to power.
I am going to cross off fluid check.
This can go back up in the air to do converter bolts.
There's probably a 3/8 gap between the flex plate and the converter.
Can you please watch the starter and see if the noise I'm hearing is the gear being hung up on the flywheel?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so the starter's in permanent engagement with the flywheel.
It's butted up against it. It's rolling it by touching the end of the gear.
Okay. I'm taking this starter back out. We are gonna order another one from the parts store and see if that one works. See what we did wrong. Our next attempt is going to be with a starter that we ordered for an application of a 97 Camaro. Okay, installed. I think we're going to try and start this turd. Ready to turn it on?
Yes.
Fan works.
All right, we got
means the battery's doing something.
We got electricity. I don't see any smoke yet.
Nope. Nice, the starter works. Any gas yet? Do we know that there's any gas in the car?
Oh, yeah, there might not be any gas in this.
Probably no. It does not seem to me to have spark, so we are going to check for power to the HEI. There you go. We have power to the HEI. It should have spark.
Maybe it was just cold.
Oh, it's not squirting. This is convenient.
Yeah. That's my fault.
All right, we'll just prime that baby. Runs pretty smooth.
It sounds good.
Still not picking up gasoline.
What little bit it's running, it sounds great.
Yeah, it really does.
Tease.
I don't get it.
We got a crack in a fuel line or something? There's one in line there. That's probably what was dripping on me earlier.
What we think just happened is that the mechanical fuel pump is not picking up gasoline from the tank because there's a leak right here at the fuel filter, which is really subtle. But if you touch the filter, it's wet. And if there's a crack in the line, then the mechanical fuel pump can't suck gas. It only sucks air.
That's really loose. It's not even tight.
I hope that's the repair.
Let's see.
it shuts off. We gotta mark our territory. I remember sitting and designing this logo from scratch with a guy named Alan Alpanian, who was our corporate art director at the time. And we sat there and messed with it, and I wanted the grime. And this was supposed to look sort of like an old road. And there we go, 12 years later, sticking it on our race car.
Ready to race.
All right, I think we're gonna head on the drag strip, see if we can race these things.
All right, I'd call that a successful test drive.
We made it to Mooresville Dragway, which is now officially Mooresville Motorsport Complex, because we've got the Roadkill Rally World down the street.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just right there at the end of the drag strip. But first, we are gonna go side by side.
Yeah, we should find out how slow they are.
Yeah, how slow is probably the right thing. Oh, and look what's here. Eric Yost just showed up with his Camaro and the cannon. Yeah. He has a homemade cannon that we're going to use to start us once we get to the Roadkill Rally World. But
it's a guy who knows how to party.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we have no idea of kind of mechanically what these are. I have a 305, he has a 350. They're both turbo 350s. We have no idea what gear they have in the back, but we're ready to race.
Yes.
Okay, little practice there, and here we go.
There's Freiburger. All right, we're both pre-staged. Here's stage.
Did you see that? Wow, I got him out of the hole, and he caught me and passed me. His car is way faster.
So I think I treed him, then he drove out of my life, then I went by it.
The 350 outpulls the 305 hard. At least now I got an excuse when he beats me on the dirt track. We should have a race to see who can get out first, because it's tough. That was fun.
I like this car.
Yeah, it was quicker than mine. 8:55 to you, 8:97 to me. So if that's a quarter mile, it's 13:42.
All right.
So not too bad. Mine's 14:08. Your car's much quicker, which is great for me because I can use it as an excuse when you outrun me at the dirt track. Let's go over there.
Okay.
This track is a beautiful thing. We were able to rough it in, by which I do mean rough.
Yeah, we made a minefield.
And then those guys came in and they actually graded it out, took the whoop-de-doos out of it, and man, it's looking smooth and good. I've already driven my car, so I say we begin time trials with you.
Okay, so 3 laps, iPhone timing. Quickest person determines pole position. Pole position is basically which side of the track do you want when we take off.
All right, I'm gonna break out the timer.
All right, I'm getting in my car. This is gonna be rad. So cool.
All right, let's get within a safe viewing distance.
Here we go.
I will tell you that our crew tested this in a Jeep Wagoneer rental vehicle and ran 44 seconds. So can Finnegan beat the rental Wagoneer? Seconds, Finnegan has beat the Wagoneer. But now he's gonna be faster because he'll be coming in hotter and he's learned the track. That was faster, he went 40.53. .41. He just keeps going faster and faster.
Woo! I think my car is a little warm.
amazing.
You beat the rental Wagoneer.
Nice. I'm smoking a little bit.
Yeah, it's overheating. 36.41.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll say this, though. First gear was easier to control than second gear. Second gear is going to be way faster if you can make it work.
My shifter basically doesn't work, so I get what I get.
Okay.
Yeah, that was cool, though. It was fun to watch.
I can't wait for you to experience this. This is so much fun, dude.
That's the fast part of this track right here. You can get after it right there. All right, Dave, blaze the donut. Oh man, he is greasing this thing. Look at this. Such artistry. Woo, 37.56. He is within 1 second of my best time. Oh, he's carrying some speed now. You can tell he cares. He's definitely not hanging it out like I would expect him to during qualifying here. Boom.
I think I was slower than Finn by a lot. Whew. That had to be slower than you.
You greased the donut, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely greased it. And you could tell you were trying because you were not hanging it out like I expected you to. Lap number 3, though. 38.
Yeah, so you were quicker.
Just a little bit, you know, like 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so given the standings here, this means that I have the option of picking inside or outside for turn number 1, which probably doesn't matter much. But I'm gonna go inside anyway.
You're gonna go inside, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I clearly underdrove the situation. Could have been faster probably if I was sliding more. I would say that I was just trying to keep it stuck. But the truth is, I was just trying to keep from spinning out. I'm waiting for Finnegan to line up next to me. I'm also waiting for Eric to load 2 pounds of powder in his homemade cannon. Our start signal is gonna be cannon. Now I gotta officially disclaim this and say, do not do this at home, but you're gonna need to watch it on Roadkill. This is gonna be violent.
I blew it. I meant outside, because then that gets me to the inside of that corner down there.
That's correct.
You know what that means? I'm just gonna have to go straight.
That's cheating.
Finnegan and I also agreed on a donut rule where whoever is out front has to complete the donut, but anybody who's behind has the option to skip the donut and cut ahead.
I see the fuse lighting. We're already bumping. We're already bumping. Oh my goodness. It's hard to see. I'm having to slow down a lot because I can't see. Oh, I can't see. I'm gonna follow him. Why not? I know I have the option, but I'm just gonna follow him. Can't see nothing. Oh, I'm passing him.
And now I'm ahead of him because of the donut rule.
Racing. Oh no! Oh no, my motor shut off. I stalled it. Come on, baby. I gotta catch up. Oh no! I can't see. Oh! was fun. You want to do it again?
After I breathed for a minute, I spun and you got around me, right?
Yep.
And then I got around you on the donut rule.
Down here, you went wide. I ducked in and passed you.
Yeah.
But then I spun out right at the end.
I saw the cones everywhere. Finnegan's gonna win by me being old because I'm out of breath. I cannot see him at all. I cannot see the track at all. And now I'm ahead of him because of the donut rule. And now he's ahead of me.
I think my motor's so melty and unhappy.
Well, he beat me in 4, but I beat him in 3.
Oh my God, that was fun. I actually like being in second place. Your whole strategy has to change. I just need to be able to see him through this dirt cloud so that when he gets to the donut and he has to go around it, I can time it to go around him without getting hit.
Yeah. When you're ahead of me, somehow it's actually easier to drive.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, being up front and having no mirrors, you're like, I got to go as fast as I can so I can widen the gap so that when I go around the donut, he doesn't beat me around the outside.
Right,
you
yeah.
know? I think people can go out and buy cars like this from any racing series and then just go out in the middle of nowhere with a permit, dig a dirt track, and I think for 10 grand, you and your buddies could have 2 cars and just the rest of the day.
Buy a dirt track car for cheap and get out there and find a buddy with some acreage and a cannon and have yourself a blast.
Here's something that I've been thinking about a lot over the past year or so, and that is if you really want to be a guy hooning muscle cars on dirt, there is no better training than being a dirt oval track racer. And I've never been into it, and I don't really understand the technology of it, but this episode hooked me, man. There is nothing more fun. And like Finnegan wrapped up at the end of the show, this is like a great dirt cheap way to have fun. Buy a couple of old dirt track cars, build a track, I guarantee that you will dig it, and we've got the bug, so you just might see more of this on an upcoming episode of Roadkill.